Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UES Liberty and looked out at the stars. His hands were steady on the rail, but his heart was beating fast. Today was the day they would try something no human had ever done before. They were going to fly faster than light itself. "All systems ready, Captain," said Lisa Brooks from her station. She was the chief engineer and had spent 5 years building the new engine. Her voice was calm, but Jake could see her hands shaking. Just a little. Everyone was nervous. They had good reason to be. The Liberty was not a big ship compared to the old space stations around Earth, but it was the most advanced thing humans had ever built. 63 people lived and worked inside its metal walls. They were the best and brightest Earth had to offer. Scientists, engineers, doctors, and explorers. All of them ready to risk everything for this moment. Dr. Ryan Clark sat at his science station, watching numbers scroll across his screen. The readings made no sense. The quantum field around their new engine was doing things that should not be possible. According to every physics book ever written, their engine should blow up the moment they turned it on. But somehow, it was stable. "You sure about this, Ryan?" Jake asked. "The readings still look wrong?" Ryan looked up from his screen. His face was pale, but his eyes were bright with excitement. "They are wrong, Captain. Everything about this is wrong. But wrong in a good way. The engine is not just stable, it is more stable than it should be." Jake nodded. He trusted Ryan. The man had 3 degrees in physics and had been studying space travel since he was a child. If Ryan said it was safe, then it was safe. Or at least as safe as flying into unknown space could be. Communications, any word from Earth? Jake asked. Kate Phillips turned in her chair. "Last message came in 10 minutes ago. Command wishes us good luck. They also said to be careful out there." She smiled. "It reminded us that we are carrying the hopes of the entire human race." "No pressure there," said Amy Turner from the navigation station. She was young, maybe 25, but she was the best pilot Jake had ever seen. Her fingers danced over the controls as she set their course for Proxima Centauri. It was the closest star to Earth. If they were going to test their new engine, that was the safest place to go. Jake walked over to the big window at the front of the bridge. Space looked the same as always. It's black and empty, with tiny points of light scattered everywhere. But today, they were going to change everything. Today, humans would join the ranks of spacefaring species. "Ben, how is our AI doing?" Jake asked. Ben. Carter was the ship's computer expert. He made sure their artificial intelligence was working properly. "All systems are green, Captain. The AI is ready for the jump. It has run the calculations over 1,000 times. Everything checks out." Jake took a deep breath. "Lisa, start the engine warm-up sequence." "Starting warm-up now," Lisa said. Psst. Fingers moved over her controls. Deep in the ship, the new engine began to hum. It was not like the old rocket engines. This one was quiet, almost gentle. But Jake could feel the power building inside it. The bridge lights dimmed for a moment. As the engine drew power, then they came back up, brighter than before.
How?
Jake felt a strange tingling in his skin. The air itself seemed to vibrate with energy. "Quantum field is stabilizing," Ryan reported. "The numbers are still impossible, but they are holding steady." "Amy, are we on course?" Jake asked. "Course laid in for Proxima Centauri, Captain. 4.2 light years away. At normal speed, it would take us 80 years to get there. With a new engine, we should make it in less than a week." Jake could hardly believe it. Less than a week to travel to another star. If this worked, it would change everything. Would no longer be trapped in one solar system. They could explore the galaxy. They could find new worlds. Maybe even find other intelligent life. "All stations report ready," Kate said. "Earth Control has cleared us for departure." Jake looked. Around the bridge, his crew was ready. They had trained for this moment for years. They knew the risks. They also knew the rewards. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jake said, "we are about to make history. Lisa, engage the quantum drive." Lisa's hand hovered over the final control. "Engaging quantum drive in 3.2.1. Engage." She pressed the button. The universe changed. The stars outside the window suddenly stretched into long lines of light. The ship shuddered, but not from stress. It felt more like the Liberty was being lifted by gentle hands. The engine's hum grew deeper, more musical. "We have achieved faster than light speed," Amy reported. Her voice was filled with wonder. "We are actually doing it." "How fast are we going?" Jake asked. Amy checked her instruments twice before answering. 200 times the speed of light, Captain. And we are still accelerating." Ryan stared at his screen. "This is impossible. We should not be able to go this fast. The energy requirements alone should have destroyed us." "But we are not destroyed," Jake said. "We are flying faster than light, and we are fine." "Better than fine," said Dr. Paul Anderson over the intercom from the medical bay. "I am reading improved health signs from the entire crew, whatever this quantum field is doing. It is making us healthier." Jake could not help but smile. They had done it. Humans had broken the light speed barrier. They were no longer bound to Earth and its solar system. They were free to explore the galaxy. Far away in the depths of space, alien sensors detected something impossible. A ship was moving faster than any known technology could allow. The readings were so strange that many alien scientists thought their instruments were broken. But they were not broken. The Liberty was real, and it was about to change everything. 3 days had passed since the Liberty started its impossible journey. Captain Jake Morrison walked through the ship's corridors and still could not believe what was happening. They were flying through space faster than light, but everything felt normal. Too normal. "Captain, to the bridge," came Kate Phillips's voice over the intercom. "We have some readings you need to see." Jake made his way to the bridge quickly. When he arrived, he found his crew gathered around Amy Turner's navigation station. Their faces showed a mix of excitement and confusion. "What do you have for me?" Jake asked. Amy looked up from her screen. "Captain, our speed is increasing. We are now moving at 250 times the speed of light. But that is not the strange part." "What is the strange part?" Jake asked, though he was not sure he wanted to know. Dr. Ryan Clark stepped forward. "Captain, we are not experiencing any time effects. According to Einstein's theories, we should be seeing time slow down around us, but our clocks match perfectly with Earth time. It is like the normal rules of physics do not apply to us anymore." Jake sat down in his captain's chair. "Explain it to me in simple terms, Ryan." "Think of it this way," Ryan said. "Imagine you are in a car going very fast. You should feel the wind, the bumps in the road, the strain on the engine. But we are going faster than anything has ever gone, and we feel nothing. No strain, no effects, nothing." Ben Carter looked up from his computer station. "Captain, I have been running diagnostics on all our systems. Our engines are working at 400% efficiency. They are producing more energy than they should be able to make." "That is impossible," Lisa Brooks said from her engineering station. "I built those engines. I know exactly how much power they can make. They should not be able to do this, but they are doing it," Ben said. "We're Diletto Inda, and they are getting better at it. Every hour they become more efficient." Jake stood up and walked to the big window. Space looked different now. The stars were not just lines of light anymore. They seemed to pulse and dance, like they were alive. "Ryan, what does this mean for us?" Ryan joined him at the window. "I think we have stumbled onto something bigger than we imagined. Our engines are not just moving us through space. They are changing the way space works around us." Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, alarm bells were ringing in the command centers of a dozen different alien species. The Zephyrian Council had called an emergency meeting. High Observer Kethfar stood before a room full of the galaxy's greatest minds. "Fellow beings," Kethfar said, "we have a problem. 3 days ago, we detected a ship moving at impossible speeds. We thought our sensors were broken, but ships from 12 different species have confirmed the readings." A voice from the crowd spoke up. "How fast is this ship moving?" "Over 200 times the speed of light," Kethfar replied, "and it is still getting faster." The room erupted. In worried voices, the fastest ship in the known galaxy belonged to the Krix Empire. It could reach 15 times the speed of light, and that was considered a miracle of engineering. Admiral Vexmore of the Krix Navy stood up. His species looked like large insects. but they were among the most advanced warriors in the galaxy. What species built this ship? Are they a threat? The ship comes from a small planet called Earth, Kethvar said. The beings there call themselves humans. Until now, we thought they were primitive. They have only just learned to leave their own planet. Primitive species do not build ships that break the laws of physics, Admiral Dexmore said. I am sending 3 fleets to investigate. If these humans are dangerous, we must stop them before they spread their technology. Back on the Liberty, Dr. Ryan Clark was making discoveries that excited and scared him at the same time. He called Captain Morrison to the science lab. Jake, you need to see this, Ryan said. He pointed to a screen showing swirling patterns of energy. Our engines are not just bending space and time. They're creating tiny holes in reality itself. What kind of holes? Jake asked. Wormholes. Tiny ones, but they should not exist. According to everything we know about physics, making a wormhole requires more energy than exists in an entire star. But our engines are making dozens of them every second? Jake stared at the screen. Are we in danger? Do not think so, Ryan said. But Jake, we are not just traveling faster than light. We're writing new rules for how the universe works. Every second we fly, we leave a trail of impossible physics behind us. In the medical bay, Dr. Paul Anderson was making his own amazing discoveries. He called the bridge with his daily health report. Captain, this is Paul, he said over the intercom. I have been checking on the crew every day since we started this journey. Everyone is not just healthy, they are getting healthier. What do you mean? Jake asked. I mean their bodies are working better than they ever have. People who needed glasses can now see perfectly. Small injuries are healing faster. Even old scars are disappearing. Whatever energy field surrounds our ship, it is improving our biology. Lisa Brooks was in the engine room, trying to understand her own creation. The engines she had built were doing things she had never designed them to do. They were learning, adapting, becoming something new. Captain, she called over the intercom. Our fuel consumption is going down instead of up. We should be burning through our energy reserves quickly at these speeds. Instead, we are using less fuel every hour. Jake shook his head in wonder. How? Is that possible? I think our engines are learning to pull energy from somewhere else, Lisa said. Maybe from space itself. Or maybe from those tiny wormholes Ryan mentioned. As the Liberty continued its impossible journey, alien fleets across the galaxy were moving. Ships that had been enemies for thousands of years were working together for the first time, all because of one human vessel that was breaking every rule they thought they knew. The humans had no idea that they were about to become the most important species in galactic history. They were just happy to be flying to the stars. But the universe was watching, and it was very worried about what these strange new beings might do next. The Liberty flew on, leaving trails of impossible physics in its wake, carrying 63 humans toward a destiny none of them could imagine. The Liberty had been flying for 4 days when they reached Proxima Centauri. Captain Jake Morrison could not believe his eyes. The journey that should have taken decades was over in less than a week. Through the bridge windows he could see the red glow of humanity's nearest stellar neighbor. We made it, Amy Turner said from her navigation station. Her voice was filled with wonder. 4.2 light years in 4 days. Kate Phillips was busy at her communications station, but she looked worried. Captain, I am picking up a lot of radio signals, and they are not coming from Earth. Jake walked over to her station. What kind of signals? Military frequencies. Ship-to-ship communications. And they are coming from at least 6 different directions. Kate looked up at Jake. Captain, I think we have company. Dr. Ryan Clark was studying his instruments when he noticed something that made his blood run cold. Captain, we have multiple ships approaching our position. They're big ships, much bigger than us. How many ships? Jake asked. 16 so far, Ryan replied, and more are coming. Jake had trained for many situations, but meeting alien ships had always been more of a hope than an expectation. Now it was happening, and they were outnumbered 16-1. All hands, this is the captain, Jake announced over the ship's intercom. We have encountered alien vessels. This is not a drill. All crew report to stations and prepare for possible first contact. In the medical bay, Dr. Paul Anderson was checking on the crew when the announcement came. He had been studying the strange effects of their journey on human biology. What he had found amazed him. The crew was not just healthier than when they started. They were healthier than any human had ever been. Paul to Bridge, he called over the intercom. "Captain, I need to tell you something important about the crew." "Go ahead, Paul," Jake replied. "The quantum field around our ship is not just making us healthier. It is making us stronger, faster, and smarter. Our reaction times are twice as fast as normal. Our thinking is clearer. Whatever this energy is doing to us, it is improving every part of our biology." Jake filed that information away for later. Right now, he had bigger problems. Lisa Brooks was in the engine room watching her instruments in amazement. The alien ships approaching them were using standard, faster-than-light drives. She could see their energy signatures on her screens, but compared to the Liberty, they were moving like snails. "Captain Lisa," called over the intercom, "the alien ships are using fusion drives with space-time compression." "That is the same technology we used in our early designs, but they are only moving at about 10 times the speed of light." "Are you saying we are faster than them?" Jake asked. "Much faster, Captain. If we needed to run, they could never catch us." But Jake did not want to run. This was humanity's first contact with alien life. This was the moment they had dreamed about for centuries, far across the galaxy. The Triumvirate Assembly was meeting for the first time in 300 years. The Great Hall contained representatives from over 200 alien species. They had come together to discuss one topic: what to do about the humans. The speaker was a being from the Altair Republic. It looked like a tall, thin tree with silver bark. "Fellow beings, we face a crisis unlike any in galactic history. A primitive species has developed technology that surpasses our greatest achievements." A voice from the crowd called out, "How is this possible? We have been studying physics for thousands of years. How did they learn something we do not know?" The speaker's voice rustled like leaves in the wind. "Our scientists believe the humans are not following the same physical laws that govern the rest of us. They are operating under a completely different set of rules." In the military section of the assembly, Admiral Dexmore spoke up. "I have 16 ships surrounding the human vessel. My orders are to capture or destroy it before their technology can spread. But I need to know, are we at war with this species?" The assembly erupted in arguments. Some wanted to destroy the human ship immediately. Others wanted to study it. A few even suggested trying to make peace with the humans. Back on the Liberty, the first alien ship was close enough to see clearly. It was huge, at least 5 times the size of the Liberty. Its hull was dark metal covered in weapon ports. Captain Kate said, "I am receiving a transmission from the alien ship. It is in multiple languages, but I think I can understand some of it. Put it on the main screen." Jake ordered. The bridge's main display showed the image of a being that looked like a large insect. It had 4 arms and compound eyes that glittered in the light. When it spoke, its voice was translated by the ships. "Computer, human vessel. This is Admiral Dexmore of the Crix Empire. You will surrender your ship immediately. Your technology is too dangerous to exist." Jake stepped forward. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the human vessel Liberty. We come in peace. We are explorers, not warriors." "Your intentions do not matter," Admiral Dexmore replied. "If your ship violates the natural order, it must be destroyed." Jake looked around his bridge. His crew was ready for whatever came next. "Admiral, we do not want to fight, but we will defend ourselves if we must." The alien admiral's laugh sounded like breaking glass. "Defend yourselves. You are one small ship. I have 16 warships. Surrounding you, this is not a fight. This is an execution." But as Admiral Dexmore spoke those words, something strange began to happen. The space around the Liberty started to shimmer and glow. Dr. Ryan Clark watched his instruments in amazement. Captain Ryan said, "The quantum field around our ship is expanding. It is affecting the space around the alien ships." "What kind of effects?" Jake asked. "I am not sure yet," Ryan replied. But their engines are starting to show power fluctuations. It is like our presence is interfering with their technology," Lisa Brooks called from the engine room. "Captain, our engines are responding to the threat. They're automatically adjusting our quantum field. I think they are trying to protect us." Jake realized that their ship was not just breaking the laws of physics, it was rewriting them. And every alien ship in the area was about to learn what that meant. The Liberty hung in space, surrounded by enemies, but somehow not afraid. The quantum field around the ship pulsed with energy that followed no known scientific laws. The aliens were about to discover that humans did not just break the rules of the universe, they made new ones. The standoff lasted for 3 hours. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Liberty, watching 16 alien warships surround his vessel. The ships were massive and covered with weapons, but something strange was happening too. Captain Dr. Ryan Clark called from his science station. The alien ships are having serious problems. Their engines are failing one by one. Jake walked over to Ryan's station. What is causing it? Our quantum field is expanding, Ryan explained. It is changing the physics in the space around us. The alien ships use fusion engines that follow normal physical laws. But in our field, those laws do not work the same way. Admiral Dexmore's voice crackled over the communications system. His earlier confidence was gone. Human ship, what are you doing to our vessels? We are not doing anything, Jake replied honestly. Our ship seems to be protecting itself automatically. Kate Phillips looked up from her station. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from a different ship. It is not military. I think it might be a science vessel. Put it through, Jake ordered. New face appeared on the main screen. This alien looked different from Admiral Dexmore. It had smooth blue skin and large, gentle eyes. When it spoke, its voice was calm and curious. Human Captain, I am Research Prime Yalthnex of the Zephyrian Science Council. I request permission to speak with you peacefully. Jake was relieved to hear a friendly voice. His permission granted, Research Prime. We welcome peaceful contact. Thank you, Yalthnex said. I must ask you directly, how is your ship possible? Our greatest scientists have studied faster than light travel for 3,000 years. Our best ships can reach 15 times the speed of light, but you travel at 200 times light speed. This should not be possible. Before Jake could answer, Carol Wayne entered the bridge. She was the ship's diplomatic specialist, trained for exactly this situation. Captain, with your permission, I would like to handle the formal first contact procedures. Jake nodded. Carol, you have the lead on this.
No.
Carol stepped forward and faced the alien scientist. Research Prime Yalthnex. I am Carol Wayne, speaking for humanity. We are peaceful explorers. We did not know other intelligent species existed until this moment. Your innocence is clear, Yalthnex replied. But your technology is not. You have created something that breaks every known law of physics. This makes the other species very afraid. Afraid of what? Carol asked. Afraid that you will make their technology obsolete. Afraid that you will change the balance of power in the galaxy.
Oh.
The Krix Empire has ruled through superior technology for 2,000 years. Your ship makes their greatest achievements look primitive. Danny Rogers, the ship's security chief, had been monitoring all the alien vessels. Captain, 12 more ships just arrived. These are bigger than the first group, and they are from different species. Jake looked at the display showing the new arrivals. The Liberty was now surrounded by 28 alien warships from at least 6 different civilizations. Some of the species were clearly enemies of each other, but they had united against one common threat: humanity. Research Prime, Carol said. We do not want to be anyone's enemy. Just want to explore and learn. Believe you, Yalthnex replied. But the other species do not care about your intentions. They care about your capabilities. And your capabilities terrify them. In the engine room, Lisa Brooks was watching her instruments with growing amazement. The Liberty's engines were responding to the threat by becoming even more powerful. Captain, she called over the intercom, our engines are adapting again. They are drawing energy from somewhere I cannot identify. We now have enough power to supply a small planet. Dr. Paul Anderson's voice came from the medical bay. Captain, the crew's biological improvements are accelerating. We are all becoming stronger and smarter by the hour. Whatever field surrounds this ship, it is evolving us in real time. Jake realized that the Liberty was not just a ship anymore. was becoming something entirely new, something that operated by rules no one else understood. Admiral Dexmore's voice returned to the communications channel. Now he sounded desperate. All ships prepare to fire on the human vessel. We cannot allow this technology to exist. Wait, Research Prime Yalnex called out. You cannot destroy them. Look at your instruments. Half your ships are dead in space. Your weapons will not function in their quantum field. Jake could see the truth on his own screens. The alien ships were failing one by one. Their engines were shutting down. Their weapons were going offline. The quantum field around the Liberty was rewriting the physics of normal space, making conventional technology useless. Dr. Ryan Clark made a breakthrough discovery that changed everything. He called Jake over to his station with excitement in his voice. Captain, I figured it out. We are not breaking the laws of physics. We're operating under completely different laws, explained, Jake said. Think about it this way, Ryan began. Every species in the galaxy learned physics the same way. They studied the universe as it appears to them. But humans evolved differently. Earth is located in a unique gravitational field that most planets do not experience. This field taught us to think about physics in ways that other species cannot understand. Are you saying we naturally think differently about science? Jake asked. Exactly. When we built our engines, we did not follow the normal rules because we do not see the normal rules. We see deeper rules that other species cannot perceive. To us, traveling faster than light is not impossible. It is just a different way of moving. Carol Wayne was still talking to Research Prime Yalthnex when this revelation came to light. Research Prime, our scientist has just made an important discovery. Humans do not break physics. We follow different physics. Yalthnex's eyes grew wide. Are you saying your entire species can manipulate reality in ways we cannot? We do not manipulate reality, Carol replied. We just see reality differently than you do. The communication channels exploded with alien voices. Scientists from dozens of species were arguing about what this meant. If humans naturally understood physics differently, then they were not just technologically advanced. They were evolutionarily advanced. Admiral Dexmore's voice cut through the chaos. This changes nothing. They are still a threat. All ships that still have power prepare for final attack. But Jake Morrison was no longer worried about the alien attack. He had just realized something important. Liberty was not just protected by its quantum field. The ship was teaching the field how to protect them better, and the field was learning very quickly. The quantum energy around the Liberty began to pulse with new patterns. The remaining alien ships watched in horror as their last functioning systems began to fail. The humans had not fired a single weapon, but they were winning the battle simply by existing. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity was not just another spacefaring species. They were something entirely new. Something that could rewrite the fundamental nature of reality itself. Admiral Dexmore gave the order to attack, but nothing happened. His weapons would not fire. His engines were dead across the alien fleet. 28 massive warships floated helplessly in space, while one small human vessel hung peacefully. Among them, Captain Jake Morrison watched the alien ships on his screen. He felt sorry for them. They had come here ready for war, but their technology simply could not function in the space around the Liberty. Captain Lisa Brooks called from the engine room. I am reading massive power buildups in our engines. They are preparing to do something big. What kind of something? Jake asked. I am not sure, Lisa replied. But the quantum field is expanding rapidly. It will reach the edge of this star system in about 10 minutes. Dr. Ryan Clark looked up from his science station with wonder in his eyes. Captain, I think our ship is about to change the physics of this entire solar system. Every planet, every moon, every piece of space dust will follow our rules instead of the normal rules. Jake sat down in his captain's chair. This was far beyond anything he had trained for. Can we stop it? I do not think so, Ryan said. I do not think we should. The field is not destroying anything. It is just making everything work better. Research Prime Yalthnex's voice came over the communications channel. His ship was one of the few that still had some power. Human captain, what is happening?
Ow.
Our instruments show reality itself is changing. Carol Wayne stepped forward to answer.
Ow.
Research Prime. Our ship seems to be sharing our way of seeing physics with your space. Think of it as teaching the universe. A new language? A new language? Yalthnex asked. The language of human science, Carol explained. We did not know we were different until we met you. Now we understand that humans see deeper into the nature of reality than other species. Turner called out from her navigation station. Captain, the quantum field has reached Proxima Centauri itself. The star is responding to our presence. Jake looked at the main screen. The red star was glowing brighter than before. But it was not burning out or exploding. It was becoming more stable, more efficient. The star is learning our physics, Ryan said in amazement. It is burning fuel more completely, producing more energy with less waste. We are accidentally improving everything we touch. Ben Carter spoke up from his computer station. Captain, I am receiving transmissions from all over the galaxy. Every major civilization is detecting what is happening here. They know we are. Changing the basic laws of physics, Danny Rogers added his own report. Sir, long-range sensors show hundreds of ships heading our way. Every species in the galaxy wants to see this for themselves. Jake stood up and walked to the big window. The stars looked different now. They seemed brighter, more alive. Ryan, if our field keeps expanding, what will happen? Eventually, it will cover the entire galaxy, Ryan said. Every star, every planet, every ship will follow human physics instead of normal physics. Technology will work better. Stars will burn cleaner. Life itself will become more efficient. Admiral Dexmore's voice returned to the communications channel. He sounded defeated, human captain. My government has ordered me to negotiate. We cannot fight you with weapons that do not work. We never wanted to fight you, Jake replied. We just wanted to explore. Your exploration is changing everything, Admiral Dexmore said. In one day, you have made our greatest achievements obsolete. Our fastest ships are now slower than cargo haulers. Our most powerful weapons are useless toys. Carol Wayne took over the conversation. Admiral, we are not trying to hurt anyone, but we cannot change what we are. Humans naturally think about physics differently than you do. Research Prime Yalthnex joined the conversation. Captain Morrison, my people have a proposal. We want to study your species, not as enemies, but as partners. You have knowledge that could benefit everyone in the galaxy. What kind of partnership? Carol asked. We will share our knowledge of the galaxy with you, Yalthnex explained. The locations of habitable worlds, the histories of our civilizations, our understanding of life among the stars. In return, perhaps you can teach us to see physics as you do. Jake considered the offer. Research Prime, we would be honored to share knowledge with you. But I must warn you, we do not fully understand our own abilities yet. That is why we must work together, Yalthnex said. You have the natural talent. We have thousands of years of scientific experience. Together, we might unlock secrets that neither of us could discover alone. Kate Phillips received a priority message from Earth. Captain, this is from Earth Command. They are sending 50 more ships using our new engine design. They will arrive here in 2 weeks. Jake smiled. Research Prime, it looks like you will have many humans to study soon. Lisa Brooks called from the engine room with exciting news. Captain, I have figured out how to control our quantum field. We can choose where to expand it and where to stop it. We are not just passengers on this journey anymore. We are the pilots. Dr. Paul Anderson reported from the medical bay. Captain, the biological improvements to the crew have stabilized. We are all operating at peak human potential. But we are still human. The field enhances what we are, but it does not change what we are. Jake looked around his bridge. His crew had started this journey as explorers. Now they were something much more important. They were the first ambassadors of a new kind of humanity. Amy, set course for Earth, Jake ordered, but take the long way home. I want to visit every star system between here and there. Yes, sir, Amy replied with a grin. Any particular reason? I want to introduce our new physics to as much of the galaxy as possible, Jake said. If we are going to change everything, we might as well do it properly. The Liberty turned away from Proxima Centauri and began its journey home. Behind it, the quantum field continued to expand, carrying human physics to every corner of the star system. The alien ships followed, no longer as enemies, but as curious observers of something wonderful and strange. Research Prime Yelthnek sent one final message. Captain Morrison, your species has given the galaxy a great gift. You have shown us that there are always new ways to understand the universe. Research Prime, Jake replied. The gift goes both ways. You have shown us that we are not alone. Among the stars, the Liberty flew on, leaving trails of impossible physics in its wake. Behind it came 50 alien ships, eager to learn from the species that had broken every rule and written new ones. And far ahead, 50 human ships were racing to join them, ready to spread humanity's unique vision of reality to every corner of the galaxy. The age of human physics had begun.